Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This is another of my short stories. This one's called Daisy. I've had few friends, platonic or romantic. Maybe it's just that I'm ugly and not a great conversationalist. But I never thought that my best friend would be a daisy. I was coming home from work, and just before I reached my apartment building, I noticed a tiny daisy peeking up from a crack in the concrete. A lovely symbol. I weighed whether to leave it there, but I knew that especially in the concrete it would fade and die in a day or two. So with the lunch spoon from my backpack, I gently lifted the daisy plant with as much root as I could and rushed into my building. With a pencil, I poked a hole in the bottom of a styrofoam cup, filled it halfway with soil from the philodendron near my window, put the daisy in, and added more soil so its roots were covered. I put it in the shade to avoid stressing the poor little transplant, and I hoped. The first thing I did when I got up the next morning was to check on my baby. It was not wilted. Yay! I was tempted to baby it by watering it right away, but I waited until the top half-inch was dry. And each day I moved it a bit closer to the windowsill so it would gradually get used to the sun. And it grew. I found watching the tiny growth the most rewarding moment of my day. Then I got crazy. I started talking to my daisy. I was not creative, I just called it Daisy. I told you I wasn't a brilliant conversationalist. At first I would just say, "Good morning, Daisy, did you sleep well?" But before long I started telling it my hopes. For example, "I think a coworker in the break room likes me. She said, 'How are you?' but in a way that conveyed she actually wanted to know. I think tomorrow I'll make a point of coming into the break room when she's there." And Daisy continued to grow, including a new flower bud. And the bud opened to a daisy, bigger and brighter than the original. I know it's irrational, but I can't think of anything in my entire life that made me happier. One time I ran off at the mouth about my fears, that I'd never get ahead, that I'd always be alone, and get sick and die alone. It did not feel good to get that off my chest. A week later, I noticed that the new daisy flower was fading and that the leaves were starting to yellow. I was scared. I tried fertilizing. I tried watering more. I tried watering less. More sun, less sun. But nothing seemed to help. And then it wilted. And so did I. I'm afraid I need to replace Daisy with an artificial daisy. Or just maybe I should get a dog. In any event, that story is called Daisy. I thank you for watching. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up, accept your thumbs down, and always look forward to your comments, especially like it when you hit the share button below, share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel, and certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 34 books. The one most relevant to this is relationship stories, or light stories on life's brighter side. Although that's not true. It's not really that light a story. But anyway, all 34 are on Amazon. Just go there, search out my name, Marty Nemko, Nemko, and you will find more than you can stomach. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.